Well, good morning there and welcome to the AM show. It's the Monday before Christmas. I'm super excited. How are you feeling about the fact that it's just a few days to Christmas? Very, very, very exciting. Anyway, how was your weekend? Hope you had a good one. I hope you got some rest and you're ready with vim to face the week. Well, on today's show, we start our end of year series with some members of Parliament. Our first is with Mohamma Ayara MP for Boku Central. Be having a sit down with him and having a very, very interesting conversation. Questions: will Parliament rise this week? What's the itinerary for the House before it rises? Parliamentary correspondent Kwesi Parker Wilson will be giving us all those updates. And of course, it's Christmas on Saturday, like I said. So are you traveling? Are you going somewhere? Have you been listening to that famous song, Obinka said 24th Kokum? Have you bought your polythene bag? Have you bought your Ghana must go? Or are you traveling with some Louis Vuitton suitcases? Anyways, we want to know what that is looking like at the transport yard. See what the drivers are up to, see what the fares are like, see what the numbers are like. So that's our show this morning. It's all about you this beautiful Monday morning. So stay tuned in. My name is Enimado and we're on until 9 a.m. Coming up next is the AM News with me. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners. Joy 99.7.
Well, good morning and welcome to the AM News. Our very first story: Parliament is expected to reconvene later today on the controversial E-Levy bill after pulling the brakes on it last Friday. Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu at the NPP's Delegates Conference indicated that both sides of the House are now prepared to deliberate on it, hoping for the bill to be passed. A member of the Finance Committee, John Jinapor, disclosed that the Ministry of Finance failed to present the bill for consideration on Friday, which led the committee to stall deliberations. But Majority Leader Oseche Mensah-Bonsu is confident a decision will be made today.
Only last Friday, December 17, 2021, the 2022 budget was sealed with the passage of its appropriation bill. So the budget was, after all, not rejected as some people wanted us to believe. The budget has been approved with the passage of the appropriation bill. Tomorrow, Monday, December 20th, 2021, the major revenue source, the E-Levy, is going to be considered by Parliament. I want to believe that Parliament, after the unanimous passage of the appropriation bill, shall rise to the occasion to pass the major revenue source to feed the work program of the government for 2022. I'm hugely aware that every member of Parliament needs roads in his constituency. Every member of Parliament needs health facilities. Every member of Parliament needs educational facilities. Every member of Parliament needs electrification for the constituents. The E-Levy will be a major booster for these endeavors, and that is why I believe that members of Parliament would not vote against the E-Levy in order not to deny their constituents of the benefits of basic infrastructure facilities.
Now, the commander in charge of the Menoso border at Kajebi in the Oti region is worried about motor riders who keep creating new unapproved routes. Chief Superintendent of Immigration Samuel Wusu-Ajimai says it's becoming difficult to halt this trend. The immigration boss made their remarks when a joint team of security personnel from the Fire and Rescue Services, Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Police Service, Ambulance Service, the Military and Immigration Service in the border town of Kajebi expressed their readiness to maintain tight security in the area. Correspondent Peter Senu has more in the following report.
A joint team of security personnel in the border town of Kajebi in the Oti region have expressed their readiness to continue to maintain peace and security in the area in a route march through the principal streets. The personnel are reassuring residents of their commitment to ensuring maximum security throughout and beyond the Christmas season. Al-Hassan Suleiman is the district coordinating director. According to him, this is just one of the measures put in place at ensuring a tight security in the area.
This Yuletide is a period a lot of movements happens through unapproved routes, even though the borders are closed. So the route march this morning is to showcase our fitness as a security council and to tell the people of the district that the government and the district assembly are ready to secure the district in the upcoming Christmas periods and even to the new year. Indeed, this is not going to be the end. The security forces will conduct joint patrols during the night in major settlement areas in the district. I think we have mapped out to patrol 15 communities day and night from this moment up to the second week of January.
Apart from the non-availability of a reliable telecommunication network along the border, accommodation challenges, we are told, is one other factor working against the security services in the area.
Most of them have also complained of accommodation. You realize that immigration officers are supposed to be at the border. I can say that over 80% of them live in KJB town. It is not a good thing because they need, on daily basis, you see them on motorbikes, in taxis, moving towards the border and coming back. It is not a good thing. So the issue of accommodation is a very serious issue. And I hope the Immigration Service in Accra and the Minister of Interior will team up and provide the needed accommodation for our security forces.
Chief Superintendent of Immigration Samuel Ozuajiman is the commander at the Menusu border. He says operations at the border have been relatively smooth, except the activities of motor riders who keep creating new unapproved routes anytime the service closes one.
We want to encourage every citizen to go about their normal duties as the borders are very calm. With the only concern that we have is with the motor riders in town, that if we say that security is shared responsibility, as we try to cover the unapproved route, all the time they also keep creating new ones. We want to encourage them, to advise them to help us to maintain security as it is. You don't know whoever you carry, especially the motor riders. Some of them may be carrying weapons to enter the country to cause mayhem, and that is our concern. So the advice is that security is shared responsibility. We want to encourage the citizenry to support us to maintain the peace as we have in the district.
Peter Sanu for JoyNews.
Dr. Ahmed Jinapor says technical, vocational and competency-based training remain critical to the development of the country. TVET, he argues, has a telling effect on the current socio-economic and political discourse in relation to job creation. Dr. Abdullahi Jinapor was speaking during the 6th and first virtual congregation organized by the Takoradi Technical University in the Western region. Correspondent Natalia Kwanza has more in the following report.
Deputy Director Dr. Ahmed Jinapor Abdullahi says the Commission was sure to believe that Takoradi Technical University would be the panacea to the unemployment situation in the country. He commended the university for taking steps to achieve a more technical-based programs and appreciated the university for a well-structured approach curriculum.
Let me state that for the avoidance of doubt, that technical universities are not and should not be posited as traditional universities. We as technical universities are structured with the focus of applied technology to the various fields of teaching and learning rather than the search of new knowledge. Our modus operandi is a structured curriculum alignment with industry needs. Hence, it will not be worth the taxpayers' money to run programs whose graduates are unemployable. The Ghana Tertiary Education Commission wants to use this platform to call on all universities, especially those in STEM-related fields, to go by your example and collectively as a nation make Ghana the most attractive destination of tertiary educational delivery in the West Africa sub-region. Technical universities are unique in their own right, and such uniqueness must not be corrupted. And on that note, let me use this opportunity to congratulate all parents and guardians for the love and support they have granted these young men and women till today. The efforts of faculty and staff who have been relevant in preparing our graduates today must also be duly acknowledged. Let us all wish these men and women well for the work ahead and beyond today.
The Vice-Chancellor for the Takoradi Technical University, Professor Frank Ishen, says the vision of the university is to be a world-class technical university recognized for excellence, innovation, and societal relevance with its niche area in the oil and gas engineering.
Now, a cross-section of Kokomba chiefs and people living along the Eastern Corridor Highway want government to consider carving some new districts for the areas. They're asking government to treat it as a major concern affecting the people. Addressing a press conference in the Bongbong in the Yendi municipality, Chief Obor-Wumbi Dawuni said various petitions to government are yet to yield the needed results.
From north, east, south, and west, they thronged the Bongbong Community Library to offer support for their leaders to make a clarion call on government to address an age-long concern. Addressing a press conference, the Bongbong chief, Obor-Wumbi Dawuni, called on government to treat their concern for the creation of a new district as a matter of urgency. The chief also raised concerns over the delays in the completion of the Eastern Corridor routes.
Communities lay continuously and homogeneously about 200 kilometers of the Eastern Corridor Highway, with a landmass and population that could fit about 7 districts by our current laws. Yet, we have no district capital cited in any of our communities. Various petitions have been submitted in the past few years to the government and has not been responded to. We would want to encourage our President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to treat as a matter of urgency and grant Bongbong in the northern region and Bintri in the northeastern region districts to improve political representation and governance. We urge the government to hasten to complete the Eastern Corridor Highway to bring added impetus to the socio-economic transformation of our communities. The simple reason that the momentum of the project has been kept has withheld enormous growth to our communities and the country as a whole. We take this opportunity to remind our President the urgency with which this is needed to be done to turn the fortunes of those in this area around.
Obor-Wumbi also debunked allegations that the Komba clan has ceded from the Mother Konkomba tribe.
We are by this press conference discrediting the news carried in the media a few weeks ago that purported that the Komba clan had ceded from the Mother Konkomba tribe. We want to assure the general public that such unilateral declaration by any one chief is false and should be ignored. There is no division among the clans of Konkombas.
30 young women have been trained in areas hitherto described as male-dominated. Their industrial skills, including carpentry, plumbing, welding, electrical installation, and embroidery. Now, these young girls are expected to take advantage of the huge potential in these sectors. Here's a report by Martina Bugri.
The industrial sector has always been held as a no-go area for women. Women who break the turn and venture into this area are given names such as man, woman, among others. But with the advent of equal opportunities for both sexes, women are expected to take advantage of this market. It is against this backdrop that We North Training to Empowerment, with funding by the Canadian government, has trained women to take advantage of this market. Speaking at the graduation in Tamale, Field Manager Dr. Nancy Dross said it was important for young women to have a chance to participate in industrial trade in northern Ghana. She said the training is to change the face of the industrial trade in the area.
It is very important that young women have a chance to participate in the industrial trades in northern Ghana. And why is that the case? It is the case because industrial trades is so important to development. Industrial trades is where we have all our construction going on. everything that we think of as development. We want our girls to have decent work to do. We want them to make money. We have space in the next 3 years for 1,800 more girls. We hope to change the face of industrial trades in northern Ghana. So instead of the face being a man's face, we also have a woman's face.
Some trainees who spoke to JoyNews said it was very interesting being in an area perceived to be male-dominated. They urged other young girls to venture into the trade.
Well, it's very interesting being in the male-dominated field, and when you join it, so even though some people always say it's meant for guys, some things are meant for guys and not for ladies, I see it not to be so. You only have to have the passion and move into it so you can make it as a lady. Well, all I have to tell them is we are very grateful. I in person am very grateful for what they have made me acquired. I couldn't have done it on my own. Girls out there who don't have the interest to go to school, at least you can do something with your hands. Don't just sit and say, oh, this one is meant for guys. No, nothing is meant for guys. We are all human beings. What men can do, women can do it, and even more better.
Actually, at the beginning, I was discouraged by my colleagues and family members, but the moment I started the program, I realized I can do whatever they've taught me, and then I feel very great being in that organization. You might go to school and then you wouldn't make it in life. So maybe all I have to tell them is they should try and get themselves something doing, like this program. They should try and go to such programs, and maybe some vocational skills too will help. It's not all about school.
Well, that's it for the AM news. Of course, coming up next, we dive into the newspapers and the show continues. Don't go anywhere.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Okay, well, welcome back. We're going to dive into the newspapers. And it's Christmas week. It's always interesting how kind of getting up to Christmas, we don't quite get all of the newspapers. But we're going to do what we have. So the Ghanaian Times is what I'm going to start with this morning. And front page at NPP 2021 National Delegates Confab. Discipline will win 2024 election for NPP. That's according to the president. All right, I'll bring you a few details on that. 12,780 expired COVID-19 vaccines destroyed in the Volta region. Hello. Okay, I wasn't expecting you.
Yeah.
Are you back? Like back?
No, I came to, just
oh, I want to hug you, but we should. Oh. Yes, Israelai, my absentee co-host. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I feel like crying now.
No.
You can have the whole review to do the Daily Graphic. I'm just gonna.
No. Okay, I just have the. I have the.
Wait. So where are you from?
I came from the house.
Okay. Are you staying for the whole show?
No, just for the news review. But you want me to stay?
Yeah. Can you just come back to work, please?
Oh.
You don't want to come back to work?
Let me finish my leave and then I'll come back. And then I'll be with you all through.
Okay. You should just do the news.
Oh no! No, you do the time. I'll do the Daily Graphic.
I'm too emotional.
Hey.
No.
This is not an uncleable play, please. But good morning to you all. He just came out of the leave just to surprise anyone.
Oh, it's such a pleasant surprise this morning. I was feeling very lonely, so it's so nice to have you here.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the daily graphic.
Yes.
Decisive step. It's all about the MPP Annual Delegates Conference, which happened at
this weekend.
the Heroes Park in Kumasi. So the president tells MPP delegates, decisive step key to winning 2024 polls. And the E-Levy policy, you know, the E-Levy, the Parliament is going to be debating it today. And the minority, they've indicated that, look, we're going to thoroughly scrutinize the
It's
E-Levy.
not a joke. They've meant them pa.
Oh, yeah.
They've meant them pa. It's not a joke.
Meanwhile, but Sechi Mensah Bonsu, the majority leader, was also saying yesterday at the annual delegates, they believe that they're going to pass the E-Levy. So especially because he indicates that's where most of the funding that government is looking
for the budget.
For the budget is coming from.
Yeah.
So
I think 8 billion Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And
so it's quite a lot.
If it doesn't happen, it's going to be a big deal for. I don't know how government is going to go about it.
Wait, but I have a question though. Does it mean that you've been following all the stories and stuff even though you're on leave?
Yes.
That's so weird. When I'm on leave, I don't read anything.
No, you have to follow because
there could be mornings like this.
Yeah, you'd have to come back to work at some point in time.
Yeah, I guess so.
You need to be abreast. So anyway, so that's it. And then there's this other story that's been trending over the weekend. Dr. Danso bags 15 awards at UCC congregation. That's the son of the Mamiya Tiwadro Dankwa of the Ghana Police Services. She's in charge of PIPs now.
It's amazing. He did so well. So
15
brilliant.
of 21 awards.
Brilliant young man. Absolutely.
I've met him once in the office of the Mamiya Tiwa.
I see. Yeah, a very important person. We are reminded this morning.
Oh wow.
Walking in the corridors of power. The local police station that we know. I've never been to police headquarters before. Nah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay. On the other stories, we have South Africa to donate J&J vaccines. Thousands of protests.
This is the first time I've heard of an African country donating vaccines.
True.
Yeah.
But South Africa, they have quite a bit of the vaccines.
They do, They do. They're actually doing really well. I mean, with the sequencing and all of that.
Yeah.
Really doing well. Really doing well. Okay.
But we're also planning to produce vaccines locally. Oh, for real?
I'm fine.
Okay, and this one I have to bring to your attention.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew you were
going
to do that.
Exclusive limited time offer. It's a Land Cruiser VXL Plus 4.5 diesel. It's they've reduced it used to be very expensive. They reduced it. So hopefully
from 904,200
cedis.
Not old 904,000. No.
It's like 1 million
cedis, yeah.
And they reduced it to 739,200 cedis. So hopefully you can. So then just so you know, and if you see any of these vehicles on the streets of Accra, it should tell you.
The person paid almost $1 million for it, $1 million cedis for it.
Yeah.
But Israel, do you think it's also because of the dollar rates that it's perhaps so expensive in cedis?
It would have to do with that, but how much? Not so much about the dollar.
If the dollar was 5, for example, then it would be about 600.
The dollar has been 6 for a long time.
Exactly, but let's say it was 4, even. Then again,
you're wishing it was 4.
It would have been 480,000. See, let's say it was 3, then it would have been like 300.
And let's say it was 1.
Well, there was a time, wasn't there, when it was 1 to 1, 1.1, 1.2.
So
I think it's about 120,000.
I think that's why these vehicles, the people who drive these vehicles feel so important.
Because it's so expensive?
Because they feel like, this is a house. I'm moving a house, so please, let me pass.
What's funny, though, is that sometimes a lot of the people who drive these are people who are supposed to work for us, who get a loan from the government to buy. So how do you feel important driving a car that is a loan? I don't understand, though. Yeah, those who they've bought, with their own money. Yeah. Sure, why not? But those who, anyway. I'm not shading anybody this morning.
Oh, you have? I'm sure the people have taken their shade.
They've taken their shade.
Okay, going on to other stories.
There's another Christmas, let's see. I think the cars are reducing. Okay,
Navara.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, they're not offering any deal.
Okay,
they're just saying that they're wishing you Merry Christmas. And they will not be working. So if you want to buy a vehicle, you have to come back after Christmas, I guess.
Or before.
Okay, yeah, or before. All right. Prosecute sexual violence perpetrators at the Canadian High Commissioner saying that. And
do you know when you walked in, I thought it was Manuel. So I looked at you from the corner of my eye and I was like, why is Manuel attempting to walk across the set when the camera is on? That's the point where I'm sorry, I haven't gotten over the fact that you're here.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, sorry for interrupting.
So E-Levy policy, industry players step in to support burden sharing. So we have the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications. They are indicating that the telcos are saying that they're going to reduce their fees by 25%, even though, yeah, Vodafone, it's not charging anything.
Yeah, Vodafone is great with that.
So they've been doing that for a while now.
They've been doing it for as long as I've had Vodafone Cash, yeah.
And then speakers call for unity.
Hello, good morning to the CEO of Vodafone. It's Christmas time, you know. I'm just going to leave it there. But, you know, we are with Vodafone
I brought a bag, some goodies
cake
in my car.
Food?
No, not food.
No food? What did you bring?
Like biscuits and...
You brought biscuits?
Yeah.
You have biscuits? Why do you have biscuits?
Why?
Have you stopped eating healthy? You don't eat biscuits and
I brought
stuff
them
like that.
because of you.
Oh, so you are eating healthy. I should eat. I'm trying to clear out all the unhealthy stuff. No, but that's really sweet. So what have you been doing with your life whilst you're not working?
Well, taking it easy. And
picking
planning.
People up in your car and dropping them in Accra Central when there's strikes. And what else?
And planning a vacation.
Oh, when are you leaving?
Wednesday.
Soon. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
So jealous.
Yeah, we don't be.
But Christmas in the snow should be lovely.
Okay, so we're doing Antalya. It's in Turkey.
Oh, you're not doing your original. Okay, so no snow.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
It's going to be a little cold over here. Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine.
Excitement, fanfare, mark MPP conference, and make your demands devoid of insults. That's the Domahine. Oh, and so the excitement, fanfare, mark. I'm seeing this photograph where we have some people. You know, the MPP were saying that they were going to enforce the COVID-19 protocols. No vaccination, no entry.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can see people wearing masks, all right, but a number of them have dropped their masks. And I'm sure in the excitement and in the frenzy and all that, and then there's people are going to be screaming on top of their lungs and spreading whatever COVID they have.
Isn't it interesting, though, that the president, who hasn't spoken for a while, spoke the Wednesday before the delegates' conference? I always wonder why he did that. Because I don't recall that he particularly said anything that was urgent, that couldn't have waited till Sunday. Okay, Sunday night, obviously, he was busy with the delegates.
You mean his fellow Ghanaians?
Yes, but I mean, he could also have done it maybe Christmas Eve, ahead of, I don't know.
It's possible there probably may be another address, another fellow Ghanaians address, warning us that it's Christmas, be mindful of the COVID-19 protocols because we have the Omicron spreading.
I made a decision last week, Friday,
that
I'm actually not going to go out much this Christmas. Yeah.
That's some good move.
Yeah, because about 8 people, luckily I haven't come into contact with any of them, but about 8 of my friends have contracted COVID-19 in the past few days, have tested positive, yeah. And it's really, not really from doing too much, but really just, from the usual up and down. And 2 of them are actually fully vaccinated, and the rest have had one shot each. Yeah. Yep. And I just realized that, you know what? I mean, for those who are going to go out, sure, I mean, it's great. Wear your mask and all of that. But last year, Christmas and January was a really horrible time for all of us. And we lost so many people. So many people got sick. And sometimes when I go out, I feel like we've forgotten so soon. you know, how bad it could get, you know, and we know that this Omicron is way more transmissible.
Yes.
Way more transmissible.
Except maybe not as debilitating as...
yeah, maybe not, but who knows? That's the thing with COVID, though. You never know how
that's gonna
you are exactly.
Yeah.
So that was just my decision.
That's good.
But
That's
yeah.
good. All right, haulage train collision kills 4, 6 in critical condition. And this story we've been telling you about, but it's unfortunate that people have to die from train collision. And apparently, it was the initial investigation suggests that the driver was supposed to have stopped and he failed to stop, and it was signaled to stop, he failed to stop. And that's how come we have this.
That's how come that.
Parliament approves agreement for supply of fighter jets for Ghana Armed Forces. That's on page 24. Dr. Danso bags 15 awards at UCC congregation.
Is that him with his mother?
Yeah, that's Dr. Edward Kosa Danso being congratulated by his mother, Mamiya Tiwa Dodankwa, Director General of the Police Intelligence and Professional Standards Bureau. Congratulations to both of them,
Both
actually.
of them, yeah. Takes a great mother to raise a great son.
Agri exports fetch $433 million. Okay, public-private partnership in education. That's an address by Professor Stephen Adair at the Accra College of Medicine. And how to make your year ending giving go further. That's a news.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah, you may want to grab that, the copy of the Daily Graphic too. Utumfo calls for national peace to promote development. That's at Ashanti Business Excellence Awards. And Oda Nurses Training School launches 6th year anniversary. Let me see, which other stories we have? Oh, and remains of 2 policemen airlifted to Accra. And the remains of the 2 policemen who were shot by some unknown robbers at Zwarungu in the Upper East region.
Oh yeah, that story from last week, horrific.
They've been airlifted.
Yeah. So also the Professor Mrs. Rosemond
Boahene.
Boahene. Congratulations, her appointment as the incoming Pro Vice Chancellor of UCC. That's great. Congratulations
getting a
to
number
you. The
of
women are
women
doing
rising
well. Yeah,
to the
women
top.
are really doing well.
Women on top.
Women. Really, Israel.
Women on top.
Okay. All right, Israel.
Yes, I mean,
have you been going to church?
What does that have to do with anything? She's on top.
It's just a random. Have you been going to church? You can't answer the question.
What does that have to do with
I just want to know if you've been going to church. Have you?
But she's on top. And then there's another woman on top at the University of Ghana.
University of Ghana, yes.
Yeah. So it's good. More women on top.
Okay.
Makes the world.
Hashtag women on top.
Women on top makes the world a better place.
A better place. Okay.
A more enjoyable place.
Of course. Okay. All right, Israel.
You get it?
Yes, of course I get it.
Okay. Prison service ventures into commercial beekeeping. And maiden national standardized test held, and 470,000 pupils participated.
Okay.
Let's see what the outcome is going to be like.
Lots of promotions in the Daily Graphic, and lots of the stores are doing. Charlie, have you attempted going to? Okay, you're not going to be in town, but have you attempted going to like Accra, to any of the markets, or Medina Market, or Adenta? You haven't, have you, Charlie?
Why? What's happening?
It's crazy. It's mad.
Prices?
The number of people.
Oh, okay. Flooding the market.
And you wonder where they are coming from. It's like the traffic on the N1. When you were coming this morning, was there traffic?
No.
When I was coming, there wasn't traffic, but there were about 4 times as more cars on the road at 4 a.m. than normal.
Well, they're rushing. I'm sure everybody is deciding that let's rush into the central business
before
district
it
gets really crazy. Yeah. 2020 FIFA Women's Under-20 World Cup qualifiers. Ghana pipped Zambia to progress to next round, and Techi wins Top Swag Award, confirms pro career. And on the back page, Tugas brace Wednesday for Kotoko. Aduana beat Chelsea to maintain top spot. Let me see the other. Hearts of Oak 2, Lions 0. Hearts of Lions 0.
Okay.
Yeah, so Hearts of Oak also won.
Where are you on the league table?
12. But we have some outstanding matches.
I like the way you whispered it. Actually, my ancestors. 12. Hearts of Oak 12. Gold Stars is ahead of you. Karela, Mediama, Ash Gold, Great Olympics, RTU, Dreams. All of us are ahead of you. Sante Kotoko is number 2. You should do better.
We have outstanding matches.
You should do better. I don't know how many outstanding matches you have that's going to take you to number 1. After going to disgrace us.
Oh.
It's good that you've been off par because these past few weeks, your team has been yawa.
Oh, but...
very, very, very yawa.
We'll bounce back. Right?
Okay.
We'll bounce back. Okay, so I'm looking at the league table here. You've put Accra Hearts of Oak
at the bottom. That's the Ghana Premier League table. This is also the Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
It depends. Does it go up to all the way up to 18?
Yeah. It shows, so here it shows that Accra Hearts of Oak has played only 5 matches. How many
1,
matches
2, 3,
This one
4,
says 6.
5.
So they probably need to
this
update.
One 2 6. Maybe.
This one says 5. They need to update it.
How many points do you have there?
So over here, Accra Hearts of Oak has 6.
Okay, it's 9. So this is the updated one.
Yeah. So Ghanaian Times, please.
So from number 18 to number 12.
And we are still moving on that.
Okay.
Because we have outstanding matches, like I'm telling you.
I believe you.
Yeah. Okay, so let me do the Ghanaian Times.
Yes, please.
At MPP 2021 National Delegates Confab, discipline will win 2024 elections for MPP.
Discipline where?
Within the party. Party rank and file.
I see.
Yeah, but you heard Chairman to me, right? Saying that, UK, Ghana is better
off than the UK. Oh, I saw the headline. I thought it was a joke.
No, it's not a joke. Oh, we don't have the video. Is it the case?
I thought somebody was joking, so he genuinely said that. Wow, okay.
I'm just realizing that I didn't do any makeup.
You're fine. You're just as handsome as you always are.
Eko, do we have the video of Chairman Woon to me saying that Ghana is better than the US and the UK? All right, 5, in the Ghanaian Times, 5 alleged robbers lynched in Yinewusu. So 5 persons have been killed at Yinewusu in the Etrima Mabeja municipality of the Ashanti region when they were accused of being armed robbers. Oops.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
right.
So there's this story too on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. There's 12,780 expired COVID-19 vaccines destroyed in Volta region. The Ghana Health Service has been talking about the fact that as a result of vaccine hesitancy,
in
some
the Volta
vaccines
region especially,
were expired in the Volta region. Now we have the figure as 12,780.
Because they just wouldn't go. They just wouldn't go, the conspiracy theories, the side effects, they just wouldn't go. And I mean, on one hand, I think it's unfortunate, but I also wish that the chiefs had done more, the traditional,
try and convince the people to go out.
Exactly. And also, obviously, the government, I mean, because...
we both have had the jabs, and we're fine.
Of course we're fine. That's not to say that it was easy. For me, it's not to say I didn't have my doubts or my fears, because I did. It's a relatively new vaccine. But I think back to all the diseases that we've been able to eradicate in this world because of vaccinations, smallpox, and you read stories about the plague and all those things, and you realize
we used to have all these stories about the 6 childhood killer diseases. We don't talk about them anymore because they're virtually eradicated. And
exactly.
So
I mean, we all had our fears, and I mean, after the first shot, gosh, I was sick for days.
Oh.
Yeah, it hit me really badly. But actually, as soon as the second shot came, I went and got it. Sharp.
And you're fine.
And I'm waiting to get a booster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except we don't have enough vaccines, to go around.
Did you know that some people are actually trying to do that, trying to get a 3rd shot undercover? You see, because there's
people have actually had.
Yeah, because there's this teeny-weeny technology gap issue sometimes. It's quite easy to go and actually
people are going around it to say
that exactly.
I haven't had my 2nd dose.
Or I haven't had my 1st even.
Oh, really?
And then you just get a 3rd one. Anyway, and we have the video, Chairman Woon to me.
Okay, so let's hear
surprising me.
Development will not fall from heaven to earth. Now I can say Ghana is better than United States. Ghana is better than UK. Because of the good policies our president and the government is giving to the Ghanaians. We all know about the COVID. Before we travel to developed countries like UK, America, Germany for holidays. Now, when you are traveling, traveling has become prison. If you go to China, they will keep you in hotel for 1 month. If you go to UK, they will keep you in hotel for 10 days. America is the same. Ladies and gentlemen, if some people are saying Ghana economy or Ghana is hard, we all have to understand that the traders cannot travel. Because once they travel, you have to use your money to pay for hotels. There is a COVID. Now, if you are checking the Ghana system, you will know and you will bear with us that Nana Akufo-Addo government, MPP government are moving forward.
I can't.
Okay, so I was trying to go along with him, and then I lost him at some point.
You went. At which point did you lose him?
When he was trying to justify what he means by Ghana is better off than...
Because they have more COVID cases?
I didn't get it. They said you can't travel, people can't travel.
When you travel, they'll isolate you.
Yes.
For 10 days.
And he went
left,
on another tangent.
Right.
And I'm like...
Came back, went around. It doesn't there's nothing that he said. And when he talks about development, and you say that Ghana is better than the UK and US, the question that I actually want to ask him is, has he been to the UK and the US?
Yeah, I'm sure he's...
So where? Yeah, wow.
At least now you know it wasn't a joke. He said
I mean, yeah.
To the hearing of the president.
I think he's speaking to people who have never traveled. I think that's his target audience. People who've never left Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was his target audience. So I don't think he was talking to us. Apparently, the president also said that he understands that Ghanaians are going through a lot of difficulties, but it's not his fault.
Oh, yeah?
I'm working on getting the video of that as well. So as soon as we get it.
Oh, wow.
And it's not his fault.
It's COVID.
It's on myjoyonline.com. Ghanaians going through difficult times, but that's not my fault.
So what? It's COVID's fault? Is that what?
Probably.
Oh, I see.
Can we open that story? Yeah. Okay. And then awesome.
Okay. So President Akufo-Addo has admitted that although Ghanaians are going through difficult times, he is not to blame. While admitting that the current economic terrain it's a trying one for citizens, he has also absolved himself of any responsibility in that regard. I admit that Ghanaians are going through difficult times. Some people are trying to say that it is my fault, but you know that it is not the case. Yet they will continue to say it. He explained on Saturday. And a section of the populace has complained about hikes in prices of some essential commodities, inadequate access to some social amenities, and an increasing standard of living, which is taking a toll on their lives. So over the past year, government has blamed the economic challenges on the COVID-19 pandemic, which rocked many countries nationwide, worldwide. The opposition, National Democratic, so going on, okay. I'm trying to see what else the president says. So, okay, I've always said these people were very lucky because they're the very good friends of COVID-19. COVID-19 actually rescued these people better than it damaged Ghanaians. And all the indicators reflect that the fact that 2019 Ghana was headed in a very wrong direction, and that it was becoming almost impossible to deal with the propaganda and to deal with the PR because the truth would expose you as a don't go straight. But President Akufo-Addo disagrees with such views. He was speaking to residents during the commissioning of an MPP constituency office complex at Joabeng in the Ashanti region. Okay, he said, he was, however, hopeful that if you all support the vision of this government, we will be able to turn things around. According to him, initiatives such as the Ghana Cares of Atampakro program will help ease the situation of Ghanaians if Ghanaians rally behind this administration. Okay, so he just says it's not his fault, but he doesn't say whose fault is it.
We are all wondering, if it's not your fault, whose fault is it? Because the last time I checked, he won the award for African of the Year. So the good ones, dear, is your fault. The bad ones, dear, it's not your fault. If you can take the goose, you can take the gander. Now, was that the story? No, that's not the saying. The saying is not, if the saying is what is good for the goose is good for the gander. But I think I understand Chairman Wontumi better now.
I wouldn't have expected the president to say it's not his fault.
No, but I understand. I understand Chairman Wontumi when he says that Ghana is better than the US and the UK. Because it's only in Ghana that you have the masses that are largely uneducated to a certain level that you can come and stand there and say something like this and get away with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we understand. But like he said, discipline will win the 2024 elections for MPP. So, but anyway.
Yes, I mean, and it doesn't also have to be just about winning elections, really. It's about taking care of the people.
It's about taking care of the economy. Yeah. But I don't know whose fault. Me, I don't know. President Akufo-Addo, if you're watching us, let me just say that for me, it is your fault. So.
No, but it can't be. It couldn't have been anybody
else's fault.
Because he's in charge of.
Yeah, he's in charge of everything. He's in charge of the ministers, in charge of the over everything. Yeah. So it's like when you come home and there's no food, and you ask mommy, I'm hungry, and mommy says there's no food in the house, but it's not my fault. Yes. So whose fault is this? Like the children? Who? I don't understand.
And when you talk about when COVID is used as an example, I mean.
Okay, so Gomez is making the argument that fine, let's do this. So Gomez is making the argument if you come home and there's no food, maybe it's not mommy's fault, maybe it's daddy's fault because he didn't leave money for mommy to cook. Or in this case, Akufo-Addo is daddy and mommy. He's a single parent, so we don't have anybody else to blame.
And all of the time when we blame COVID, we're not the only country that was afflicted by COVID.
And I said this to some of the MPP parliamentarians last week, that our numbers, the kind of numbers that we had, and we shouldn't use COVID as an excuse for anything, because it didn't touch us.
No, but then they would argue that it was because they did the right thing.
No, they didn't. It was just,
that's why
it was serendipity. It wasn't because we did anything. They talk about the fact that, okay, that initial lockdown contained the numbers. And it did to a certain extent. But apart from that, Charlie, let's just be honest. It was grace.
It was grace.
It was nothing but grace, because Ghanaians are not wearing masks. They are not washing their hands. They are chilling when the beaches were closed. The beaches were full. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So, therefore,
so it was just grace.
It was grace.
God has been gracious to us.
And therefore, if it was grace, then let us account properly for the monies that were given to us for COVID. You see, because that's what they are doing. They are not accounting for the COVID-19 fund money. They are not. Now, did you hear that now the COVID-19 money is what they are going to use to build the development bank, which they had already talked about before COVID-19 came?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, COVID-19 about the and let's use the money to do the developments. Why?
Oh, Ghana.
Ghana for you.
Anyway,
yeah.
But we can only hope that things are going to change and we're going to have much better Ghana. We want a better Ghana, even though it may sound like some
cliche
political parties slogan, a better Ghana.
Well,
we still want a better Ghana.
Of course, we want a better Ghana. Those of us who don't have dual citizenship, we don't have a choice. We have to stay here. Those who have to, they can go. Me, mom, if I had, I would have gone. Oh, it's true. I won't think twice about it.
If you leave, who's going to help develop the
country? No, I can't help develop anywhere, please. It's okay. So Dr. Bawumia says we'll break 8-year jinx with our superior record. Is your record actually superior? Is it? Though, you know what really freaks me out is when Dr. Bawumia says things, or President Akufo-Addo goes to post things on Twitter now about the government, and then they bring back what he said when he was in opposition, which contradicts what he's. It's so funny. is so funny because then you're like, well. Anyway, should we open the phone lines and ask the question, do you want Israel to stay and host today's show?
Oh.
I think we should do that. Echo, what do you think? I think we should ask our view.
I came in. I didn't even put on any makeup.
Okay, so we're going to do the sports and then we're going to open the phone lines and ask if Israel should stay and host the show today. So Israel has to wait for that. So please don't go anywhere. We're taking a break for the sports. We'll be back right after that.
Hi, this is Lexus Bill, host of Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. Listen, you don't have to worry if you miss Drive Time or Personality Profile. It's going to be live on our podcast page. Just log on to www.myjoyonline.com/podcast. You can listen to Drive Time, Personality Profile, and any other of your favorite shows on Joy FM on that page. You don't have to miss a show at all. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the AM Sports with me, Oreku Ampofo. We begin with the Ghana Premier League action because Cameroonian striker Frank Mbella scored a superb brace as Asante Kotoko defeated Legon Cities by 2-1 in Dawu on Sunday. The Kumasi-based club secured a win that was their first win in their last 3 games. And their sworn rivals, Hearts of Oak, also made a big back-to-back wins after defeating newly promoted side Accra Lions at the Cape Coast Stadium. Let's check out highlights of both games.
Occupying Warriors, they're coming forward. They're threatening for the first goal. Solid cross goes in. But Kotoko still putting tabs on their opponents. This is Frank, and it's the first goal for Kotoko.
Making the magic for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, but the header and straight look at the composure from Frank Mbella. But poor defending from Lagos City.
Very, very rare to see him start a game from the bench for Kotoko. Razak Abalora lost that completely, and Lagos Cities are back in the game.
Brilliant header. Look at the cross. You expect him to deal with that ball, Razak Abalora, but a shade late from his line.
Menun team. Opportunity now for the second goal. Razak Abalora made himself big for it. Stephen Amankuna would love to go down the byline, sends in the decent cross, and that is the second goal for Kotoko.
And then there you saw the header. At it again. Look at the pace and look at that cross. Brilliant header.
Good play from Accra Lions. Goalkeeper breaks it attack. Abin Junior's cross. It's a header from Banya, and it's the opening goal from Kofi Koji. The Fabians are up by 1-0, and the Fabians have taken the lead here in Cape Coast. Daniel Efria Banya, can he take the second? And he makes it 2. Finally, Daniel Efria Banya is on the score sheet, and the Fabians have that assurance goal. It is 2-0 here in Cape Coast.
Well, 2 wins out of 2 for Samuel Boydu's men. But let's head to England, where Liverpool lost ground in the Premier League title race in a pulsating draw at Tottenham that was packed with incidents and saw Andrew Robertson sent off for the visitors. Manchester City were 4-0 victors at Newcastle United earlier on Sunday, and that meant that Liverpool could not be top of the Premier League by Christmas for the first time in 4 years, with the Jurgen Klopp side now 3 points adrift. Elsewhere, Gabriel Martinelli scored twice in Arsenal's big win at Leeds United. In La Liga, it was teenager Nico Gonzalez who saved Barca's splashes at the Camp Nou with the last-stage winner against a spirited Elche side. And at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, Lucas Ocampos scored the late goal to give Sevilla a hard-fought victory over Atletico Madrid. Sports here on the AM show. I will be bringing you a report of the winners of the 46th edition of the Swag Awards during the midday news. So do stay tuned live here on the JoyNews channel. My name is Oreko Ampofu.
Hello, my name is Evans Mensah, and you can relive all the fun and excitement on Top Story, Newsnight, and of course, Ghana Connect via podcast. All you need to do is to log on to my Joy Online/podcast. Search for your favorite show and relive the moment. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Welcome back. And if you just tuned in, well, you missed that absolutely pleasant surprise of having Israel jump into the studio. But he'll be back with us tomorrow and Wednesday, just to do Christmas with us, and before he goes off again. So thank you to Israel for coming in. Okay, so we're moving on to our next conversation. And remember, I was telling you about the end of year series that we're having with some members of parliament. We kind of want to just dive into how, everything is working, what the expectations are. And we know that today the E-Levy will be back on the table for discussion and all of that. And of course, we will be bringing you up to the date on all of those issues. But we sat down with MP for Boku Central, Mohamma Ayara. Here's Kwesi Parker Wilson's conversation with the lawmaker.
Ghana's hung parliament a year under review. Just about a year ago, Ghanaians decided to ensure that parliament had almost equal numbers with the NPP and the NDC. Of course, we know that the independent candidate, the former MP, chose to do business with the NPP caucus in parliament, so they are 138, whilst the NDC is 137. We're going to look at how the numbers has been over the year under review, and what is happening now is President Akufo-Addo going to face a tougher opposition in the next 2 years, looking at events of recent past or not. Today, I'm privileged to have with me the Member of Parliament for Boku Central. This is his 4th time in Parliament. And of course, he's a lawyer, a very senior member of the House, a Harvard trainer, as I say. Honorable Mohamma Ayara, thank you very much for your time. I hope you're doing well, and then how is the business going with you?
Oh, thank you very much, but I prefer that I am introduced as somebody who went to Makola Law School and the Faculty of Law. To be frank with you, I think that, lecturers like Professor Henrietta Mensah-Bonsu, Professor Kofi Kumado, Professor Bene, Kwashiga, they molded our lives much better and shaped our careers than the short stays in graduate school and etc. Even though, a place like Harvard gets branded so well and, you get exposed to a lot, but the real foundation was our Legon Law Faculty days.
The LLB days.
Because those days, it wasn't easy to emerge as a graduate of the University of Ghana Law Faculty. It wasn't easy. Because I keep reminding people that today people feel that it's so difficult to get into law school.
That's true.
You should have been there those days.
No, but it's difficult to get into law schools these days. If you look at what's happening
I'm saying
in recent
you
past.
should have been there those days.
But were there limitations as well back in the day?
You should have been there those days. Let me tell you what happened. The whole of Ghana. Imagine how many secondary schools there are in Ghana, or they were in Ghana.
At the time.
At that time. And at the end of the year, after A-levels, only 100 students were admitted into the University of Ghana Faculty of Law.
Was that the number?
Admitted.
Yes, for admission?
Yes, into the Faculty of Law. Only 100.
That was the quota?
That was the quota. The whole of Ghana.
I see.
Only 100 students into the University of Law, Faculty of Law, first year. And that admission didn't guarantee the 100 students that they will become, graduates in law. At the end of first year of university, That's what they used to call FUE, exams. Only 40 of even the 100 were admitted into the LLB class.
I see.
Only 40, 40. And then an additional 20 were given permission to do courses at the law faculty which enabled them to gain admission to the Ghana School of Law to pursue the professional course. So in effect, at the end of 3 years of study at the Faculty of Law, only 60 will be able to proceed to the law school.
To the professional course.
So it meant that the whole country, all secondary schools put together, at the end of each year, only 60 will go to Makola to study law.
So the problem has been there not today,
yes,
it's been there over years gone by.
So you can imagine what type of work my colleagues and I had to put into being among that 40 to be, LLB graduates.
Right.
And of course, to go to Makola, that small number. And don't forget that today, with the benefit of technology, the students can have the entire Ghana law report on their laptop.
On their laptop and their phones.
They can have the entire All England law report on their laptops. They can have all the legislation on their laptops. In fact, they can have textbooks, soft copies of textbooks. So you could just sit at one place today and do all your studies. Nowadays, you had to go to the library and look for the Ghana Law Report wherever you'll find it, and look for the All England report, look for every law report that you needed to study it, every textbook. And there were limited copies. I mean, it wasn't as if because we were 60, there were 60 copies of, let's say, a textbook on equity.
The dynamics have changed. I mean,
there will be like 15 copies. Right. So you will all be, 60 of you will be scrambling over 15 copies. So it wasn't easy.
But the dynamics have changed.
And the lecturers, I mean, were excellent, and they molded us into what many of us are today. And so I prefer all the time that credit is given to them. Harvard is just a Brandon. And so I'm proud of, my lecturers like Kofi Kumado, Henrietta Mensah.
You just talked about the law school. Let me just take a bite on this.
Professor Bene, and etc.
Let me take a bite on this before we move on to issues in Parliament. So, if you look at what you just said, comparing to what happened back in the day and what's happening now, would you say that it's the students who are agitated or persons who are agitating for the expansion of accessing to law school is unjustifiable? Because even at your time, the quota was still small.
No, but the population has increased rapidly. Population has increased. Resources should be more available now. So opportunities should be more available now.
So in spite of what happened in the past.
And so in spite of what happened in the past, we should make sure that there's increased opportunities for people. I mean, the economy is expanded. Our democracy is blossoming. We've replicated many institutions. Decentralization has deepened. So many structures of governance at the local level. The judiciary has expanded. So many courts across the country. And we are basically defining ourselves as a rule of law country. And therefore, there should be many lawyers to service every existing institution so that we cut down on waste. Waste is where, people, because they don't know the law and they don't get proper legal advice and etc., tend to do things that end up costing the state. Just take, for instance, how much the state pays annually by way of judgment debts. A lot of the judgment debt will arise from, absence of proper legal advice to the institutions as they engage in either contracts or, transactions with other institutions. So if you look at how much you waste on, judgment debt, if you had rather positively used those numbers, money-wise, to pay an increased number of legal advisors to all government institutions, and therefore expand facilities at the law school to be able to bring in those numbers that you will need, you will find out that actually, first you'll be creating employment, and those money sort of going into private pockets by way of damages will actually be going into the pockets of, lawyers' salaries and emoluments, and then everybody is happy. So I think that we need to create more opportunities. We need to expand the facilities, and students must continue the fight. Those of us here will also continue the fight. And the key issue that we've been advocating for is liberalization of the sector. That is to say, the General Legal Council should allow as many private law schools as possible to be created. They should rather strengthen the regime of regulation and monitoring.
So you go to KNUST, UCC.
They should all have their law schools. But I know that the profession being also private-centered, the entrance must be regulated. So even if, in principle, they decided, look, given the market, every year we should have 1,500, 600, still allow people to have access to as many law schools as possible, convenient. And at the end of the year, do a bar exam. And then structure it in such a way that the bar exam must produce not more than 1,000 people who should go through
a very qualified lawyer.
Very qualified lawyer. Yeah, I mean, so even in the US and other places where you do a bar exams at the end of your study, it's not everybody that gets in. I mean, they definitely have a way of regulating the numbers that get into the profession. I think that it's a culture of most professions that you regulate the numbers.
The House, a few weeks ago, you issued a directive to the Attorney General to ensure that the 499 students had been admitted into the law school. What's the update on that briefly?
Well, I mean, he issued a statement saying that we had no authority to direct him. But then the president had directed him, and therefore he had taken steps to ensure that...
But Muntaka filed a motion, a vote of censure, I should think so, against him. I don't know if you know about it.
Yeah, I recall that Muntaka brought a motion. It wasn't filed, actually. I think there was discussion of a motion to that effect, a vote of censure, but it wasn't filed. I don't recall signing, because if it was filed, I would have been one of those signing it, but it wasn't filed. The minister appeared before the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, and to be frank with you, I was there, and the committee really took him on for that position that he took. But essentially, he said he felt that was his legal opinion. And as principal advisor to government, if he has a legal opinion on a matter, he should publicly state it. And so what he said was his opinion as Attorney General regarding what the legal position is. We disagree with him. That, as a parliament, we cannot pass a resolution directing that he should do something for which his ministry has already come to us for appropriation, and we have released budget for it. Because essentially our point was that you came to us asking for X amount of money for the General Legal Council to run the law school in anticipation that they will admit X amount of students if those students pass the exams. Now, the issue before us is that those students say they have passed the exams by your standards. And we look at the numbers, and the numbers fall within what we have appropriated for you.
The number falls within.
That was our argument. So our argument is that if the number falls within what we have appropriated for you, we can direct you that since they have passed the exams, take them. Because actually we've budgeted for that. That was the angle of the committee, the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. But then we went, back and forth, and we took our position that we could direct him, and he took his position that as
so what was the resolution going forward? What was the resolution now?
I mean, before the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, that was not really the matter before us. The matter before us was estimates for his sector. But I'm just saying that there was a platform where the Parliament took him on. And that was at the level of the committee that superintended over his sector.
But did it brief you, perhaps, when the engagement was going on the concrete step being taken now to get the people admitted?
I believe he must have mentioned it, but I think that it was much of a public statement. Anyway, he stated that they were going to take them. So those of us interested need to follow up specifically to see what's being done.
Now, let's journey to the House, the chamber. And the day your leader, Haruna Iddrisu, moved the motion seeking to set aside approval of the budget by one-sided majority caucus of the House, you seconded the motion, of course, was captured in the votes and proceedings. The first deputy speaker threw out the motion. In fact, after the debate for close to 2 hours, he dismissed the whole thing. For you, as a seconder, how did you feel? I want to know your initial reaction to his decision to throw out the motion.
Well, naturally, I, like my leader, have been disappointed in the decision of the first deputy speaker, because all along we're all led to believe that he had actually allowed the motion to be moved by Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, that he had allowed me to second the motion. And I have repeatedly said on TV and radio that even the official reporters also thought that he had allowed the motion. And so the following day votes and proceedings captured what we believe was the proper position, that he had allowed the motion to be moved by Haruna and that I had seconded it. And he had gone beyond that to actually allow debate on the motion. Okay. And then we're at the stage where he was supposed to put the question. But he says otherwise. Now, naturally, we're disappointed that he had taken that position. We challenged his decision by bringing a substantive motion. We're not in doubt that he'll be in a fix, because the system in Parliament is funny. Ordinarily, when you're challenging somebody's decision, you must go to a body above that person, ordinarily. So when you have your rules saying that if the speaker is wrong, you can only challenge his decision by a substantive motion, and the motion has to go to the same speaker for him to admit, so that his decision can be questioned properly. In most systems, you don't have that way of challenging somebody's decision.
And you think that promotion,
and so it takes a very strong person to open up to a challenge. And I don't think the speaker displayed that strength of character. Because somebody's challenging my decision, ordinarily I would be like, okay, let's go through the process. He should call for the official report. What did the reporters say? He should call for the audio of proceedings that day and play it. And everybody will hear the chronology of events and speeches and what everybody said, and whether or not he had actually allowed it or not. It is open to investigation. It is open to investigation.
So you think he doesn't have the tough skin to accommodate more like someone trying to question his decision?
It didn't come across as a person who has that capacity to tolerate his decision being questioned. He didn't come across...
I see, but that aside, the populace, the electorate have been putting the minority caucus on the blame board. And I'm going to ask you a direct question about, on the hindsight, do you think that deciding to boycott the proceedings on Tuesday, we saw the approval of the budget by the NPP caucus, you think that the strategy was wrong, the approach was wrong?
As a minority, in all sincerity, we were wondering whether that was the best approach.
Okay.
We ourselves were wondering whether that was the best approach. But interestingly, the following day, our fears were confirmed. Why do I say so? We debated among ourselves as to whether we should go into the chamber or not. If we went into the chamber, will the first deputy speaker allow a fair process in terms of the application of the rules? Okay. They had educated the public that with 137, you couldn't take a decision. So we took a position that if we were not in the chamber, they will also be 137.
But if you were in the chamber, there could be 137, 137, and the motion would still have been lost.
We took a position that if we were not in the chamber, there will be 137. And so the public will then see that they also didn't have a number to take a decision. So that was our tactical position. Now, there were those who said, well, let's go into the chamber, and there'll be 137, and then will be 137. So the motion will be lost. Are you getting the situation? Right. But then there were those who said, will the Speaker allow us to go through the process fairly if we're in the chamber? So let's not take the risk. Because if we enter the chamber, the question of quorum would be defeated, because once we're in the chamber, then the quorum will be, 274.
Right.
274, so they will have quorum. But our argument was that they also didn't have, if they said we didn't have quorum because we're 137, then they also will not have quorum because they will be 137. Okay? And our strongest point was the quorum argument. Okay. And if we enter the chamber, that argument will be lost. And the Speaker probably would have found a way of making it impossible for our numbers to count. Then the following day, we said, okay, let's go into the chamber. They are 137, we are 137. Let's challenge their decision and see. And when we challenged their decision, did he allow a vote? He didn't allow a vote. So if he had allowed a vote, maybe our motion would have also been lost because they are 137 and we're 137. So why didn't he even allow a vote where our motion stood the risk of being lost?
So the decision to absent yourself from the chamber, was it voted on at the caucus level?
Oh, I can't tell you how we take our decisions at caucus meetings.
Because then, if I ask this question because, you see, there has been, as I said, blame game. They put you on the blame board. Suleiman Abraham has spoken. Martin Amudu, your very uncle, has also spoken that they think that the minority and the majority in parliament is playing the ordinary Ghanaian. One breath, you say you rejected the budget. The next breath, you stay out of the chamber and allow your opponent to approve the budget. Are you playing us?
No, we didn't allow our opponents to approve the budget. We deprived them of a quorum, and that was why he had to count himself to add to constitute the quorum. You saw that he did the absurd thing of counting himself. And of course, there are very senior lawyers in town who've also taken a position that the Speaker could not have counted himself to constitute the quorum. So if the Speaker hadn't done the absurd thing of counting himself to constitute the quorum, what would have happened? Our strategy would have been very successful. He should have taken a principled position that since they didn't have a quorum because they were 137, you also don't have a quorum today because you have 137. So go out there and then engage politically and come back. But he bulldozed his way and counted himself, contrary to what generally people felt should be the legal position, just so that he will constitute a quorum so that they will do whatever they wanted.
I see. So can the minority be trusted going forward in those 8 parliament? Because the allegation has been that you cannot be trusted. The Ghanaian people cannot put their hopes in you that you will do the right thing to defend the ordinary Ghanaian. And I made reference to Martin Amidu's article and also Suleiman Ibrahim.
I get surprised. I get surprised because actually the minority has been performing magic. We've been performing magic, yeah. And the reason why I say we've been performing magic is that in a numbers game, a numbers contest, any given day, 138 should beat 137. In a numbers game, where everybody takes his position, 138 should beat 137. But we have consistently, when it mattered, beaten the NPP with their 138. Came to election of Speaker, we beat them. With our 137, we beat them and got a Speaker. They brought a budget, and to their shock, with 137, we managed to defeat the budget. So, ordinarily, it is a miracle that we have been performing. How we managed to strategize and emerge victorious and even create doubts about their their capacity to win fights in the House. We should be commended. I get surprised when people are like, have you forgotten that they are 138 and we're 137? They are 138, we're 137. And there's a speaker who doesn't vote. So ordinarily, how is it that 137 beats 138? But consistently, we have emerged victorious. Or even created doubt as to whether or not they have won.
Yeah, but you see, in spite of that, you've received harsh criticism from.
It's because we are victims of our own success. We are victims of our own success because we're successful at winning the speakership in a keenly contested race. People feel that we should always be able to win whichever way, and we hold ourselves to that standard. We try to win whichever way. So we've become victims of our own success. But I want it known that in this parliament, the NDC is 137, the NPP is 137, and there's one independent who has chosen to go with the NPP. So technically, in voting numbers, they are 138.
And you can assure that going for the next 3 years.
And you see, votes on the budget, on legislation, and so many other things is open. It's not secret ballot. Okay. It is only votes on appointments that is secret ballot.
I'll come to that.
And when it's secret ballot, it's easy for you to secretly go on one side without being noticed by your party. But on the budget, it's open voting.
But so looking at the nature of the parliament we have now, would you encourage for secret voting?
Indeed. If we could actually amend our rules to allow for secret voting, even on ordinary issues, I dare say that we'll be surprised at the permutations anytime there's a big issue. I mean, we failed to manage our numbers when we're appointing ministers, when we're voting on the appointment of ministers. We failed.
About 20 of the members voted in favor of the ministers.
At the same time, when it came to appointing speaker, they also failed. You get the situation. So don't be surprised what the dynamics will look like if all the votes were secret. But as it stands now, on policy issues, on the budget, on legislation, and etc., numbers will remain where they are. Secret ballots, you can't tell where it will go. Now, in spite of all that, I mean, the year under review has generally been one in which the parliament has worked the way that it normally works. Legislation that have come before us, loan agreements, policy documents, generally. Even the last budget, the one that we are now reviewing, went through without much rancor. Okay. But on this occasion, we have a genuine disagreement on the issue of the electronic levy. It's not everything in the...
I've had people say that. In fact, it's not really genuine disagreement. Perhaps undergirding your position as the political fortunes that you look towards in 2024, where if you allow the E-Levy to pass, government will mobilize the needed revenues and the resources to prosecute the agenda, which at the end of the day might affect your fortunes in 2024.
Not really. Not really. You see, if we are motivated by pure parochial political interest
and partisan interest,
we'll be punished by the electorate. Trust me, we gauge the electorate. If we are motivated by pure parochial partisan interest, we will be punished by the electorate because it's not a reflection of their concern. But at the same time, if we fail to carry the electorate with us, they will punish us. And what is the position of the electorate? And you see, this morning I was listening to Kwame Mpieni.
Okay.
I mean, a renowned MPP economist and leader. He was totally against E-Levy on Asasi Radio. This morning I listened to him. He was totally against E-Levy and thought that it was an unwise policy decision. And you recall during the debate, I described the conduct of the MPP as policy stupidity. You recall my definition of policy stupidity, where you tax a behavior that you want to encourage. And he shared the same sentiments. Now, look, we are promoting digitization. and then promoting a cashless economy. And many people have started developing a habit of placing their monies on their Momo, wallets and keeping the money there for use. Then you want to go in there and start taking 1.75% of their money anytime that they put it there. He says rational human beings will run out of that place with their money. So you might not even get the money to take your 1.75%.
So you are carrying Ghanaians along.
So
reflecting that.
If we actually fail to oppose this policy, we will be seen, betraying the trust of the people. It's not pure simple political advantage.
The NPP allege that John Mohamma has been influencing the NDC caucus to oppose this E-Levy.
But what is wrong if John Mohamma has the capacity to influence the NDC caucus? I mean, Kufuor has issued orders that no MPP minister or MP should travel outside this country.
Kufuor is the president of the land, the first gentleman of the land.
He leads the party.
He leads the party.
No, he leads the party.
Right, that's correct.
He leads the party. And, in exercise of his powers as president, he has constrained their freedom of movement. So what's wrong if John Mohamma has control over his caucus? And there's a policy that the general public is against. And John Mohamma also shares that position.
John Mohamma is not the leader of the NDC as we speak. The leader of the NDC.
I didn't say John Mohamma is the leader.
Right.
I say what is wrong if John Mohamma has influence? You cannot officially not be a leader and yet have influence.
So you're seeking his personal interest?
What personal interest?
No, of course, he wants to run for president.
Is he the only person who will be paying Momo taxes? He's not the only person who will be paying Momo taxes. The general public will be paying. They're the ones complaining. And just as I get signal from my constituents that Momo is not good, I'm sure he too, as former president and having led the NDC several times, is also getting signals from the base of the party that Momo is not good. So he may also have developed his position on the matter on the basis of getting feedback from the grassroots.
But did you reach out to the caucus?
I haven't spoken directly with him on the matter, so I don't know if he reached out to the caucus. But I'm saying that there's nothing absolutely wrong with John Dramani Mahama being able to influence the NDC caucus, especially if it is about the electronic transaction levy. And I'm not even admitting that he has, but I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can say anything that you want to say, but if the policy is good, it's good. If the policy is bad, it's bad. And I mean, so many things have come to this house that we've approved for the NPP. Why didn't they complain about John Mohamma those days when we were approving many things that when we were voting for ministers and the NDC caucus was being bashed left and right? Why didn't they blame John Mohamma for that?
Was the caucus in crisis at the time?
Oh, we faced challenges. And we kept telling people that when it comes to secret ballot, it's difficult to hold the line. Just the same way that MPP had difficulty holding the line when we were voting for speaker. Especially when it comes to appointments. Because on the issue of appointments, people transcend political lines. Let's say that, MPP is in government, and then they opt to appoint a roads minister from somewhere in my region.
Okay.
It becomes difficult for me to go and explain to people from my region that I'm opposing a roads minister coming from my region. Because people say, oh, wait, it doesn't matter who is in office. Once the person is a roads minister and come from this region, there's a possibility that we will all benefit because he might just, have a better knowledge of the poor road situation in the region,
so
and then invest.
Ethnic consideration.
Ethnic consideration. So you will go to, NDC MPs from that region, and they will say, well, we share party position, but we come from a region, and that region, they are happy that the president is giving that region an opportunity to produce a
son of the region.
Yes. And so if we are seen opposing, even the small support we have, we also, lose that. They think that we are being parochial and selfish as a political party. So it's difficult to convince people, especially, with respect to candidates for ministerial appointment coming from their ethnic tribe, their region, their religious groups, or even their gender. You find women say, you people say women are not competent. Let us also be there with our incompetence. You get the point? So, you know, a woman nominee comes and you say, oh, she's not competent. The woman says, oh, don't worry. If we don't try our hands, how can we become competent?
So they are using the position as trial now.
Yeah, so it becomes difficult to hold the line on those occasions. And of course, it puts a lot of pressure on the caucus. But, you know, you move on and an opportunity comes for you to, you know, reassert yourself, and you do that.
And at the time, I mean, people allege that there were deep cracks in the NDC at the time. Of course, a member of the committee, the appointment committee, some of the Kutada even resigned.
Well, I mean,
so
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that he tendered in a resignation. Maybe just some disagreements and people's different styles and approaches to dealing with situations.
But was it the right approach that he adopted? Because some say he betrayed the caucus.
I think that he is entitled to his personal view of how he should conduct himself, and I cannot be a judge of his choice of approach. We've moved on, and I think that we're making progress as a caucus. Those moments will come, but it is how you continue from there that matters.
At the time, many questioned the leadership qualities and skills of your leader, Haruna Idrisu.
We've never questioned the leadership qualities of our leader.
No, they think that he softens his stance for the NPP.
I don't think so. I don't think he ever softens his stand for the NPP on any matter. I think at all times, we actually agree on how to approach a matter. At all times. At all times. Haruna has never made a move that we've all not agreed on. Haruna has never made a move that we've all not agreed on. Of course, you can't have everybody agreeing on, because even at a meeting, a strategy meeting, there will be disagreement. But then the understanding is that once we agree that this should be the approach, that becomes the approach, and you have to go and speak in support of that approach. So the perception that Haruna is weak or he softens his stand for MPP is because they don't know what we agreed on. They just don't know. They just don't know. I mean, let me defend him. Recently, there was this discussion about 1%, 1%. It wasn't Haruna's decision. It was not. It was not his decision. He made a mistake of saying it, but it was not Haruna's decision.
It was a decision by the caucus?
Let me be honest with you, and I speak in defense of Haruna, that they wanted to engage with us.
Okay.
We sent them to go and engage. At the point of engagement, you know, the thinking was that you can't go engaging and say you will never, you know, concede to anything. Are you getting the situation?
Yeah.
But if the engagement is successful, fine, we will all review it. But if the engagement is not successful, then nothing has been agreed. So they went and engaged. And the NPP, they insisted that they must have the tax. And then, you know, the discussion came around, okay, if you must have the tax, we are also totally against the tax, but if you must have the tax, civil society people saying that you should start from a very low threshold. That's what signals we are picking from civil society groups, economists and everything. They are saying that you must start from a low threshold if you must have the tax. And they said, no, we will not start from a low threshold. We will start from 1.75%. If you disagree with us, the lowest we'll go to is 1.5%. Then we said, okay, then there's no agreement on anything.
Okay.
And we walked away.
Maybe there's no agreement. Why did he say 1%?
That's what I'm saying. So he made a mistake. He made a mistake of, you know, bringing out discussions that took place in a mediation exercise.
Okay.
You get the situation? It wasn't he on his own going to soften his stand on anything. So let me say here and now that Haruna never says anything that wasn't discussed at a caucus meeting and wasn't part of an agreed strategy of the caucus. But of course, uneasy lies the head that, you know, bears the crown. Yeah. So when there is a slip, of course, as the leader, he takes all the heat and protects all of us. So that is the situation. And so we've never questioned the leadership of Haruna, and we will continue to stand solidly behind him. We'll continue to advise. And you see that I sit directly behind him. He always tends to me to ask.
I'll be very curious about your sitting arrangement.
Yes.
In the chamber, I mean, your line, I think a group of lawyers lined up on your lane.
So he always tends to us.
Yeah, I
You tend to ask,
very often,
bro, what should we do? And we say, move in this direction. Then we go back, we turn back and also inform the people behind that we are moving in this direction.
Because I see the finance team people, the lawyers behind. Was it a strategic arrangement?
Yes, it's a strategic
arrangement. So can you run me through how you did that?
We can't tell you because we'll be exposing our strategy.
Of course, the viewers would want to know. I mean,
no.
Because it's quite interesting.
They should just monitor the game.
And I'm going to show that footage.
They should just monitor the chamber. It's not that easy. So let me assure you that we are strongly behind Haruna. He leads us well. There are a lot of challenges. It's not easy to lead a minority.
Is there pressure on him?
Naturally, there will be pressure. Naturally, there will be pressure, especially when we are so misunderstood in terms of strategy. We are in it, so we understand what we are going through.
So is he the right man to lead the NDC in this hung parliament? Is he the right man?
Definitely. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. He has the experience. He has the support of the rank and file of the caucus, and so he's doing an excellent job.
I see. We are running out of time, but let me just touch on this briefly. The NDC soon will be going for your internal race. Chairman of Usampofo, General Secretary, and of course, you go to the flag bearership. But the flag bearership, I understand that John Mohamma, the caucus has decided to back John Mohamma as the flag bearer. How true is this?
I believe that on any given day, John Mohamma will easily carry the entire NDC along with him in any contest, on any given day. I repeat, on any given day, until anybody shows that he's exercised bad judgment or leadership and etc. As we speak, on any given day, I see the rank and file of our party throwing their weight behind.
Should he be the one to lead the party in 2024 elections?
I have no doubt that he will be the one to lead the party.
Do you want him to be the one?
I have no doubt that I'm desirous of him leading the party into the 2024
Aren't you discriminating against potential candidates? Dr. Dufour has showed up. Kojobosi wants to contest him.
Really?
Guzitano also wants to contest.
They're all welcome. I mean, Guzitano contested the last time.
Right.
He remains a very good friend of ours and a very good friend of the former president. And they continue to work together. It's party.
Dr. Dufour is lazy in his boot.
I have
You've been
so
seeing
much,
his lectures on the economy.
I have so much, admiration for Dr. Dufour. I call him uncle. I have been in Parliament here fighting tooth and nail over the closure of his banks and the confiscation of his licenses, and I will continue to fight for him. If the chairman of the committee, First Deputy Speaker, will sit up and do the work, I will continue to pursue it. Nothing will make me renege on my personal commitment to Dufour as a former minister of the NDC, as a former governor of the Bank of Ghana, and as a very loyal supporter of a member of the NDC. And he's entitled to his opinion as to whether or not he should also be given an opportunity to lead the party. And I encourage him to pursue his ambitions, except to say that I feel strongly that the rank and file will go with John Dramani Mahama. But it's good to have a contest. It's good to have a contest.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time today. And of course, we are grateful that you've shared with us a few of the things happening in the chamber over the last 1 year. And finally, the UT case that you're pursuing with Dr. Dufour, I know that the chairman, I don't know, what's happening? What was the update?
I honestly have been pursuing the matter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, initially the chairman was pushing and the Bank of Ghana resisted the jurisdiction of the committee.
Right.
But the chairman actually pushed, in all fairness to him. He insisted. And the central bank, towards the end of the last session of Parliament, did, come clean and say that they are now amenable to the jurisdiction of the committee.
Oh, okay.
So they will submit themselves to the committee.
Have they done that yet?
Well, they've stated in principle that they will submit themselves to the jurisdiction of the committee. Unfortunately, we went on recess, and the committee members, it was difficult to get members of people had to travel, people went to constituency, so it was difficult for them to sit. Then when we resumed, you know, the budget, and then the speaker has traveled, and then he has to sit in as speaker. So his availability has been a challenge, and clearly the facts show that it is through no fault of his that he's unavailable to do the committee's work. But I keep pushing him to see if, with the passage of this budget, whether he will have the space to get back to the work of investigating the confiscation of the licenses. And I want to assure you that many of us who are working and fighting to see if we can get justice for him through this parliamentary process, we may be strong supporters of John Dramani Mohamma, but his decision to contest will in no way affect our decision to fight his case in this parliament.
Once again, thank you very much. He's the Boko Central MP, Mohamma Ayara. We are Christmas. A few words for your constituents out there.
I want to wish everybody well in this Christmas season and the new year. Around this time, there's a lot of traffic. People are in a hurry to transact business and to provide service and etc. But let's remember that we need to be careful to avoid accidents around this time of the year. People should be careful when traveling. People should pay attention to the drivers that drive the buses and other vehicles on the highways and monitor them and demand that they are constrained in terms of the speed limits that they use. For my constituents, we've had an unpleasant ending of the year with some elements within the constituency creating some situation of insecurity. Happily, I should say that the situation has calmed down. Even yesterday, the curfew was reviewed downwards to 8 p.m. To 5 a.m. We'll continue to push for a total lifting of the curfew. I believe that all of us in Boku will work towards peace. It's better to live in peace than to live under any condition. There's nothing as valuable as the peace that we enjoy. So I wish them well in this Christmas season and then the New Year.
So how do you say Afishapa in your language? Okay. What do you impart? I hope I got that right. So, from the JoyNews crew as well, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas, of course. And as LMP said, we should be careful, especially those driving from Accra to other places of the country. I am Kwesi Parker Wilson, and today my guest has been the Member of Parliament, four-time Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mohamma Ayara. He's also been a former information minister before. Enjoy your Christmas.
A very big thank you to Kwesi Parker Wilson for sitting down with Honorable Mohamma Ayara and bringing us that. Remember that we'll be bringing you so much more of these sit-down conversations as the week progresses in our parliamentary series. Also, of course, as the day progresses, we will be bringing you all the up-to-date happenings on the floor of Parliament. We're going to take a quick break, but for the best Ghanaian experiences this holiday season, well, look no further than Taste of Ghana. It's a unique festival that showcases and celebrates all the amazing elements of Ghanaian culture. Come and enjoy local dishes and beverages, fashion shows, drama, poetry, fine arts and artifacts, and good music. Taste of Ghana comes off on Monday, 27 December 2021 at the forecourt of the State House from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Rate is absolutely free. Dress code is strictly African print. Please note that all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Taste of Ghana is brought to you by the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the Ministry of Information, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ghana Tourism Authority, Guba Enterprise, Beyond the Return, Ghana Exports Promotion Authority. Taste of Ghana, our language, our identity, our pride. Okay, so also you've heard about 5%, 10%, 15% to 20% discounts, but maybe never 50%. Well, Sethi Realty is offering 50% discounts on their dwelling properties. Prices starting from 210,000 Ghana cedis, well, pretty much like a brand new car. This offer is for a limited time and on selected units. Of course, terms and conditions apply. So if you're looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom home in a gated community, make sure you call Sethi Realty on 055-143-5555, 055-143-8888, or you can visit them online via www.nyamidriagh.com. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's so much more here on the AM show. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Evans Mensah, and you can relive all the fun and excitement on Top Story, Newsnight, and of course, Ghana Connect via podcast. All you need to do is to log on to my Joy Online/podcast. Search for your favorite show and relive the moment. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Well, welcome back. And it's almost Christmas. It's actually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 5 days. But if you don't count today, then it's 4 days. But if you count Saturday, then it's still five days. So if you count today and Saturday, then it's 6 days. Anyway, point is, it's between 4 to 6 days more before Christmas Day. So what are you doing? What's your plan for this year? Coincidentally, it's a Saturday, so guess what? We have Monday as a holiday. So that's 27th. And guess what's happening on the 27th? Party in the park. So I was at Ebri Gardens a few days ago for a wedding. It was actually my first time going there. It was absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And you definitely want to join us next week, Monday, that's the 27th, for Party in the Park. And there'll be so many exciting things happening. All your favorite Joy FM presenters and personalities. There'll be lots of food, lots of drinks. There'll be mattresses and mats. And it starts at 8 a.m. in the morning till 6 p.m. And you can get your tickets from Joy FM now, where the tickets are going for 60 Ghana cedis for a family of 5. So 5 of you for 60 Ghana cedis. That sounds pretty good. Now, we're only selling the tickets at Joy FM. We're not selling at the gate because of COVID-19 protocols. We need to be able to know the number of people that are actually going to attend, so that we can make sure that there's enough space for distancing, there's enough space for all the things that we need to provide for. So next week, Monday, 27th, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., we'll be at the Eburi Botanical Gardens for Party in the Park. It's 50 Ghana cedis for a family of 6, and grab your tickets from the phone desk of Joy FM here in Kokomlemle. Okay, so are you traveling? I'd love to know that. Well, Michael Ashale is joining us from the Neoplain Transport Yard because he's there to check on drivers and see what it's like for those who are leaving town. Hello, good morning, Michael. Hello from Neoplan.
The festive season is here again, and we are here at the Neoplan station, where you are more likely to see more families trooping back to their hometowns or some other places to celebrate the Yuletide season. Well, we'll be interacting with some of the people here who have decided to embark on that annual journey back to their hometowns. We're speaking to some drivers here as well, especially in this year where we are seeing high recorded cases of accidents and crashes on our roads. We'll be interacting with some of the people as well on what really is getting them to travel to their hometowns here. You can see that the activities are brisk, more people trooping in. Few more days and the Christmas season would have started here. Let me interact with some of the drivers here, well, his colleagues over here, who will talk to me about exactly the season and how it is faring on their business here. So more drivers here will interact with me on exactly what is happening here. Bossman, good morning.
Fine.
It's Christmas be a Jumana saying Uncle
Christmas be a Jumana Christmas you the Pamba The Christmas we can free last 2 weeks been a car short to her. But Christmas we dear. You know saying any pamfa. I don't know money or the town why.
Enti Sanka, all the numbers better to one. Last year net is and this year to say.
Last year the name we last year the will be a coffee. Last year the job will be out. But I said yeah. Mr. Bamadi may do 1 week and another I may load. Into your ship, I see.
Remember back night, me know a train accident home as I'm saying, as driver form work kind so. You better than a man accident in our form work kind so. So I will talk to some more drivers here. Driver now going far. Yeah. So, bossman, maybe so. Maybe so. Down for no say Christmas soon. A corner saying say Christmas go for bar as compared to last year and go for buy a car.
As I say, we have no much as here. And then if you as you want as a higher shikakra, and yes, idea. Think last year, about this time, how you share about this year, you who sir, and then the ones as an pay her move kakra to compare to next year and the next as and then I say, kakra.
Okay, but so what the two drivers have been telling me is that well, compared to last year, the number of people who come to their station, that new plant station, are traveling, hoping to travel to their various destinations, is on the low this year as compared to last year. This year, Bibi Bakwan aba upon a accident so. As driving, what do you think about the accident? What do you think contributes to the accident situation?
Accident today say we will say accident normally and you. Also, we have Ghana and Ubia, me penta, when traffic, say traffic Ghana had a traffic dear, baby no traffic in here. And Ubia super foka, me penta, but on 10 pence with the Yankupo heading and a walk. And to say, you never know about 10 passenger for Betty, Munombacasa, Nantia say, Juma. Accident today, Ubia no one of a person who took an over your problem. Touch the mission, but Omoanga for car now, to make us a driver watch it. Meanwhile, traffic walk one was better traffic compressor on fan call. And then one more amount some man before some fuel can almost 3 hours. No, to can move on check and count. No, I check me cook my cry 4 hours. They come 4 hours to be. What trying to hire a fastest cry? Come down, maybe about 5 hours, 6 hours.
So what he's telling me is that well, he's bringing a new dimension to it. He says that sometimes it's pressure from the passengers themselves. That the thinking is that from Accra to Kumasi should be somewhere 4 to 5 hours. However, if you add the traffic, which he says that what is becoming more dense lately, if you add the traffic to it, it should be way more than the expected 4 hours. So some of these passengers sometimes put pressure on them. And sometimes the reason for the road crashes that we observe. Or also, to see on the bed then stop it, road crashes. No, the bed then passengers not here say Jenny now.
Kwano Okono, Empire Babans of Bakudwasum Dream. Quanon Soa, and a Quanaya Bass and Quana Namso, to say Bokina Cars, Triles, and a Posi Quanswa, a Yanka Crass, and a Quanon Senior Dua Carriage. A single lane near Bunsa, and 2 or 2 hours, so didn't she out to mean Sano. Touch the machine, also Yabo Tre, intend to was sent in on my bonfires of Wakudufiasum Dream now a day. When Nano and saying now, no one's what to Quan, and yes, open them, and temper. Na kwano create me si kwano to me block na kwano si tabasa na untumi nya hwe
enti anka pa say den emamo as driver for na kwano so na ho na accident em for
na say bia ebenya dual carriage so on say highway from a high to Kumasi the whole Ghana had the business we any takra dem na for say ni nyina timi dual carriage we na ma on say nkoko ba pass na mo any problem within some seconds na we try we. But I had it before so be travel we no kwana say okra wakaka no kra wabre. And from Mama Samai to Haikwana say no dey.
So he mentions 2 issues here that possibly if solved will help to one reduce the road crashes that we see on our roads and get more people arrive at their destination safely. First of them will be the dualization of some of the major routes between the Accra region and that of Ashanti region. And secondly, he mentions that well, he will want some of the roads fixed. He mentions specifically that of Samaya. Thank you very much, sir. So I'll get back to some of the drivers and again speak to some of the pedestrians, not pedestrians, but passengers. This particular bus here is going to Kumasi. and I'll speak to some of the people here. What is getting them to travel to their various places of destination? What's so different about taking the celebrations in Kumasi as compared to in Accra? Good morning. So, I have the gentleman, I'm going to ask him quickly. So, what's on Utukanko Kumasi? Christmas in Tinako?
Debbie, and then I'm a business here, and now I'm a co.
Into Christmas business. Christmas will be dinner way.
Let me have Kumasi.
Kumasi. Oh, okay. Now, Christmas, I will cry. I will not Kumasi. They want to
I am saying Christmas in Tino. I mean, new difference here, woman.
I'm for dear. They were there.
Now, okay, Kumasi, the moon say she would be a mum. Because Kumasi be a one nipa. A domo hopper, maybe on the domo, our class yet new sat in Tino. And I door. In terms of Kumasi, she will sing a cram.
So he's telling that though he does not celebrate Christmas, is embarking on the business journey to Kumasi. But in his opinion, he thinks that Christmas in Kumasi is much better than that in Accra. Well, if some more people will speak to me, I'd really appreciate it on what is getting them to travel, make that journey, the annual journey from Accra all the way to Kumasi. Bossman, Christmas in Kumasi?
Pacho Derby. But I mean, by me, wedding, me, be whatever.
What did Christmas for Kumasi da?
But what I'm telling you,
the business said, into Christmas or Krani Kumasi, they went there.
Oh, Madame was a Kumasi, the evidence since the Accra as a medical Kumasi.
I see. So he also stands with that well, Christmas in Kumasi is much better than that in Accra here. Let me ask some more people here on why they are journeying to Kumasi. Let me come all the way to the back where I have some more women here. Madam, good morning. Christmas in Tina Utukwine. Christmas in Tina Utukwine. I didn't know Utukwine. I didn't know the Christmas in Accra.
Pacho mkodiwa ewa kurasi.
Until Christmas ewa Accra and Christmas ewa on them when there.
Pacho say.
Christmas ewa Accra and Christmas ewa Kumasi they when there.
Pacho ane din die. Me pese minko me brand mon ansa na makodiwa.
Mate, so well, she's journeying for the Yuletide season, and she tells me that she prefer to celebrate the year with her family and friends rather than just be alone in Accra here. This is one of the few buses journeying to Kumasi this festive season, transporting many people who are hoping to get to the capital of Ashanti region and celebrate the Yuletide season here. Well, the drivers I've been speaking to have been talking about how to reduce the road crash. I'll speak to some of the people within the car briefly on how to also reduce the spate of road crashes that we observe every year. So, Madam, road accident, what do you think? Say, I'm an Abba form.
Me pacho, I was a driver for Ninya Botre. Said the Baya, Omudi be Yebekwa Kodu Asundrim. Na the Obesan Banet, you know, so ebetimi asambe tu nebushia asundwem.
So she talks about the drivers patiently, taking them on their journey rather than possibly driving anyhow they like here. Well, so this is from us here at the New Plant Station in Accra here, where many people are journeying to their various places of destination. Reporting for JoyNews, Michael Papani-Ashali.
All right, well, thank you, Michael, for that. And if you're heading out of town, well, stay safe and safe journey to you. Enjoy your time away. Enjoy your time with your family. But what's your plan for Christmas? What are you doing? Are you off work? Are you planning to go out? Where are you planning to go? Have you killed the goat yet? Can I just say a big thank you to Awal, who actually sent me the goat. Remember that I was talking about the goat issue last week because my sister and I were, kind of thinking of getting a goat, and, we had, gone to do the price scanning, and we're like, nah, fam. But Awal sent us a goat. It came yesterday, and it gave us so much joy in the house. Had all of, the family kind of sitting down and just looking at this goat, and, then we cut it up into little pieces, and then my mom, my 73-year-old mom, appears out of nowhere and is like, oh, we should eat palm nut soup. And immediately, with immediate effects, there was palm nut soup on the fire, and we really enjoyed that. So from the bottom of my heart and from my whole family, I just want to say a big thank you to Alhaji Awal Ahmed Kariama, Executive Director of Rise Ghana, Group CEO, Discounts Group Company Limited. Thank you so much. God's blessings, and may you receive a special surprise as well, just like you did for us. Thank you so. Every time we shoot a goat, we remember you, I swear. It's fantastic. It's nice, Papa. Hey, even just thinking about it. So me, I've put my palm nut soup down. When I get home, I'm going to boil. When I get home, I'm going to boil plantain and then eat the plantain and the palm nut, so as my spirit to be satisfied. So thank you very much. Anyway, that's my Christmas sorted. What about you? Give me a call, 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Give me a call. Tell me, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you heading out of town? Are you booking yourself in a hotel? Are you going to Dubai for Christmas? Or you're just flying out for lunch and you'll be back? Are you spending it at home with your family? Are you going to some concerts? Have you started cooking? What's it like in the markets? I just love to hear everything that's going on with you in terms of Christmas. 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Over the past 3 or 4 days, I've attempted going to Medina markets. I haven't made it yet, because there's so much traffic just trying to get in. So I'm going to try again today. That's my Christmas. But Martin calling from Takoradi. Good morning, Martin. Hello, Martin.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Martin. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Thank you so much. So what are you doing for Christmas?
This Christmas, you don't have money, so you're at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you don't have money.
Wow. Okay. So what are you doing at home?
I'm just chilling.
And that's all you are going to do the whole Christmas?
Yeah, we are going to drink tablets and sleep. We go wake up January.
Wow. Really, Martin? Really? Well, Charlie, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. I pray that God surprises you. And gives you a reason to come out and celebrate. Maybe, at least church, you could go to church. Let's see what God will do. You know that he parts the Red Seas. He does wonders. So you just never know. Just never know. Okay, let me speak to Frank from Asylum Down. Hello, Frank. Good morning.
Good morning. You're looking beautiful on the set.
Oh, thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much. So what are you doing for Christmas?
I'm going to be celebrating Christmas with my family.
Oh.
I mean, Christmas is all about family, celebrating it with family. And
okay, so you guys are just going to be home?
We're just going to be home, cook, eat, drink.
Okay. What are you cooking? What's on the menu?
We're thinking about some light soup, a little bit of jollof rice, and a little salad.
Yeah.
The
spirits. That sounds really, really, really good.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Well, I wish you and yours a Merry, Merry Christmas. Let me go to Cape Coast and speak to Joel. Joel, hello.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hi, Joel. Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, is the Hamatan, has it hit you in Cape Coast?
Oh, Cape Coast, yeah, we don't have Hamatan.
Oh, really?
Yes, please.
Why?
The weather is very cool. Yesterday, I came to Accra and I realized that there was Hamatan in Accra.
It really, really came yesterday.
But Cape Coast, yes, we don't have any Hamatan.
Oh, I see. I was in Cape Coast in school for 3 years, but I don't even remember whether. Anyways, well, what are you doing for Christmas? Joel?
Yes, please.
So what are you doing for Christmas?
Oh, Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There is a global crusade which I'll be attending. And
Hey.
I think that's what I'll do.
Okay, which global crusade?
Deeper Life Bible Church.
Oh, okay. At where in Ghana?
It's going to be streamed live from Nigeria.
Oh, okay, okay. So you'll be in the spirits the whole day?
Yes, please.
Wow.
Connecting to shook myself into the new year.
Charlie, soak yourself in the spirits. Get all the fire that you need for 2022. Amen. And remember us in your prayers.
Everybody to join the Global Crusade. Deeper Life Bible Church.
I'll send you an invoice. You can't come and advertise on our show.
Thank you.
All right, then. Have a great Christmas. Umaru, bye. Umaru is calling from Jolu. Hello, Umaru.
Hi.
Hi.
For my Christmas, I'm gonna be spending my holidays with my family and my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. That sounds really exciting. So what exactly are you guys going to be doing?
Well, I'm planning on asking her to marry.
Does she know that you're calling? Is she watching the show?
Oh, no, she's not. She's a night owl. She wakes up around 10, so yeah.
Oh my God, that's so cool. So how are you going to do it?
I don't know. I'm planning on taking her to Aqua Safari.
Okay. And then you're just going to go on one knee and pop the question?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. That's so amazing. I wish you all the best. I'm sure she'll say yes. Because obviously if she wasn't going to say yes, you would know, right?
Yeah, I would know. We've been dating for 5 years now, so this should be the perfect time.
It's the absolute perfect time. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Sending you love and light and God's grace and blessings and everything. And a fantastic Christmas tomorrow. Welcome to the table of men.
Okay.
All right, okay. Have a great Christmas then.
Okay.
Kukwa is calling us from Cape Coast. Hi, Kukwa.
Yes, please.
Hello. So
hi, dear.
Hi. Merry Christmas. So what are you doing for Christmas?
Many, many happy returns.
You.
Christmas is all about you showing love to the others. So I'm thinking about how to put a smile on someone's face.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you.
That's so nice. So you're going to be going out on Christmas Day and doing stuff for other people?
I'm at home, but I should have somebody on my heart that even if it is one CD that would put a smile on the person's face, I'm thinking of doing that.
I absolutely agree with you.
Let's show love to everyone.
Exactly. For God so loved the world that he gave. Yes. So absolutely. Thank you so much. And I pray that God fills your cup so that you can give so many more people. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.
You too. Enjoy
Thank
it.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Let's go to Koforidua now and speak to Eugene. Hello, Eugene.
Hello.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Many happy returns, yeah.
All right, so what are you doing?
Planning on actually taking my family out.
Okay.
My tickets are all plan to take them out.
You've already bought tickets. You said you've already bought tickets.
My tickets are already in, so I plan taking them out. That's outside.
Oh.
Just a week or two.
I
in the
see.
States that will come back.
So where are you guys going?
Hello.
Where are you guys going?
States, US.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you're going to have a snowy, cold Christmas.
Hello.
I said,
my line is very bad down
here. Yeah,
your
line is quite bad. I said, so you're going to have a cold, snowy Christmas.
Yeah, sure. Definitely, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, make sure that you're wearing all that thermal underwear and you have your winter jackets and your hats and your ears.
All this fun, all this thing. Yeah.
I know, right? I know. Sounds like so much
perfect
fun.
holiday would be.
It would be absolutely perfect, and of course with your family. So we're sending you love, safe journey, stay safe out there. Don't forget to wear your mask. And safe journey, and God bring you back to us after Christmas. Thank you, Eugene. All right, finally, let's go to the Upper West and speak to Peter. Hello, Peter. Peter. Okay, can't find Peter. Looks like Peter's gone. Anyways, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, IB will be here with the showbiz. But in the course of the week, I mean, we would love to know what you're doing for Christmas. And, you know, like one of our callers said, you know, do something nice for someone. You know, that is the essence of Christmas. And that someone can be yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, IB will be bringing us the showbiz news. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
Artists who are having shows on that day.
Okay.
So we know that the 24th has always been marked for a Kojenchi show.
Yes, of course.
So for Kojenchi, he's having the 30th anniversary celebration of the 24th night.
Wow.
Initially, it was supposed to be 2 days, where all the young hip high life artists were going to perform concerts. We're going to be singing their favorite Kojenchi song, but it's all been put together for one day.
Wow.
So it is going to be something else. And Samini is also celebrating 40th birthday on the 22nd. And after the 22nd, he is having a concert on the 24th.
On 24th as well.
Then let's fast forward to 27th.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joy FM Fighter Party in the Park,
Of
where
course.
it is going to a different venue.
Oh, yeah.
New venue. And the venue is what is actually thrilling people.
Ah, okay.
The Ebri Botanical Gardens.
It's beautiful. I was there a few days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a wedding. Beautiful.
So you've gone to have a good time.
It was a very simple, nice wedding.
Simple, nice wedding at Ebri Botanical Gardens. And you call it simple. Well, for those of you out there and the families, all you need is just a 50 Ghana cedi for a family of 6.
Yeah.
And you get to enjoy everything that the Joy FM Fighter Party in the Park this year comes with. And all COVID protocols are going to be adhered to. And you know that the Ghana Tourism Authority is having a meeting today, and they are going to be stressing on how ready they are and the fact that they're going to be checking the COVID card. If you've had your double jab, they're going to be enforcing it. So today, all they're going to do is just reiterating through the media to the general public that if you have not taken your double jab, don't ever think of going out this Christmas. Yeah, don't. Don't sit
like
home.
Kwame Eugene will say.
And Kwame Eugene and A.B. Prenzel on the 26th. The Heroes concert. Yes, at plus 233. Or Chami Kwame on the 25th. Hip Life Party at plus 233. Hip Life Party Part 2. Last year was Part 1. So this Christmas, you have a lot of places to go and you have a lot of reasons.
Church.
Yeah,
go to church.
Church. I know after church you are going somewhere.
Church is the point. Go to church and all of your doing. Go to church. Okay, anyway, thank you very much, Ivy.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much to all of you for staying tuned in, to Echo, to Gomez, to the rest of the team in the back room and lights, camera, action, and to you. I'm handing over to Israel Live for the next 2 days. So enjoy him and enjoy yourself. Stay safe out there. I will see you on Thursday. But this is still the AM show. We're on every day a little before 6 a.m.